I want to welcome you to the Ask Jeff YouTube channel. Here's today's question. What really caused the fall of Jerusalem in 70 AD? I heard that the Romans wanted to set up worship of idols in the temple and the Jews rebelled. Matthew chapter 24, verse 2. Well, Matthew 24, verse 2 is the words of Jesus from the Mount of Olives saying that the Temple Mount and all of the stones therein would eventually come to the ground. And obviously that took place just as Jesus said that it would. Now, let's talk about this, quote, famous rebellion fall. If you go back to the early first century, there was this incredible tension between the Jews and the Romans for rightful political reasons. I mean, after all, you had guys like Herod and Pilate, famous biblical characters that were Gentile, pig-eating Romans, pagans, by the way, who technically were overseers of this Judea, Jewish land. So there was always conflict. In fact, you see so many times in the scriptures where the Jews and the Romans, particularly the Pharisees, are trying this balance of power. Well, by the time you get to 70 AD, there was a man by the name of Nero, a general by the name of Titus. The Christians were burned at the stakes. The Jews were despised and hated. And eventually, the best way to describe it is the Romans had, quote, had enough. Did they want to set up idols? Absolutely. They put idols everywhere, but they did not want to use the Jewish temple for their practice of idolatry. They literally tore it to the ground, and they did their best to exterminate every Jewish citizen. In fact, for 3 years after this event, a group of Jewish individuals held out on the famous Mount of Masada until the Romans eventually got to them. So again, not only did Jesus prophesy that this would happen, but you see a consistent pattern throughout the scriptures of those of a pagan origin wanting to dispel, disperse, and ultimately destroy the Jewish people. Now, per the question, did the Romans want to set up their idolatry everywhere? There's ample historical research that they did that. Did they want to use the Jewish temple to do it? Not so much, because they did not build anything in its place. Great question. If you have one, send it to AskJeff.net. Maybe your question will be tomorrow's. Thanks for being a part of today's daily question. Now, we answer a question each and every day. Please feel free to submit a new question at AskJeff.net. We may not have gotten to yours today, but we eventually will continue to be a part of this. Subscribe so you don't miss out on a question every day.